Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA. And this video I'm just going to talk about UFC 200 really quick. As of right now, with the build up to 197, 198, 199, they're probably going to hopefully have to wait until those develop to make any big announcements about UFC 200. So, I don't want to cover the shitload out of UFC 200 if it's gonna be a stacked undercard, and I don't want to waste all my time like talking about the undercard. Cause honestly, man, let's keep it real. The fights they're announcing is like, okay, yeah, they if it was any if that's your new normal, that's cool. But let me just run down what they announced so far, just so there's context to what I'm about to say. There's, they're saying headlining is Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor. I'm gonna read what they announced, and then I'll go through it. Then featherweight for interim belt, Jose Frankie, Misha Amanda Nunes, Cain Velasquez, Travis Brown, Johnny Hendricks, Kelvin Gastelum, Musasi versus Brunson, Diego Sanchez, Joel, Sage Northcutt versus Enrique Marin, never heard of him, Takanori Gomi versus Jim Miller, and Kat Zingano versus Juliana Pena. Like, really, yo? What I mean by if this is the new normal, if Kat Zingano, Sage Northcutt, Gegard, Johnny Hendricks leads into a Cain Velasquez, Travis Brown main event undercard prelim, cool. Good on you guys. You did it. And then if Misha, Jose, and Nate is on the main card, cool. I think they need to wait. Bro, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz. Yes, it's the money fight. Yes, it's kind of within the time span of being able to cash it in. But if you get, let's say UFC 197, Jones has a quick turnaround, 200 he could fight. You could give 200 to DC. John Jones gets his belt back at UFC 200. Say that. You gotta headline that. Because even if you're trying to argue for significant, bro, Nate, this in my opinion is Nate Diaz's first title defense of his featherweight acquired crown. Because Conor is fighting and they're letting him walk around with the I thought the whole mantra was, in order to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. So Diaz and Conor fight. Diaz beats Conor, but he's not the champ because of some weight. Really? But Conor's not even defending the belt. The people he should be fighting are fighting each other. And Misha, Amanda Nunes, I don't give not one fuck about it. Because the whole intrigue to the women's bantamweight division was Ronda Rousey. Holly Holm did a soul blade move and absolved all of Ronda Rousey's fame when she wheel kicked her face off. She didn't wheel kick, it was a fucking roundhouse kick. Or when she fucking kicked her face off is my point. Misha won the belt against Holly in a very Misha Tate way, in a very Misha Tate fashion. She's just parading around with it for now, if she could defend it against Amanda. Which is interesting, because it kind of adds an unnecessary player to the game. Because there's a lot of unfinished business, and it wouldn't be so bad or unfinished if Rousey was like an hourglass with the sand pouring down. Because now it's like, okay, Rousey could kind of go in there, possibly beat Tate, and just like wrap it up, you know what I mean? But because Holly, Misha, that could kind of always happen, unless Misha defends it against Amanda and just retires. She's got to fight Ronda. I think she wants to fight Ronda, but honestly, if she just defends it at UFC 200 and retires, that'd be smart of her. Because I think Holly and Greg Jackson will definitely come up with a good enough game plan to beat her in a rematch. She hasn't beat Rousey. She might now, but if she beats Rousey and then retires, like, that would be pretty flawless. Even though she lost 2 times to Ronda, like, for Misha, that's kind of her getting out with whatever she can. Would I want to see John Jones, Anthony Rumble headlining, Nate Connor, Jose Frankie? Then I want to see a turnaround, and if Chris Weidman wins, I want to see Chris Weidman, Yoel Romero, or Jacare. And then that's about it. Johnny Hendricks, Kelvin Gastelum. I understand Wonder Boy's fighting Rory. So, yeah, I think UFC 200, they did a good job of every card being a good card up until 200. Even 200's a decent card, but it's not a super fight stacked, unbelievable dream card. My opinion, if I was Dana White and I was the Fertitta brothers, I would say UFC 200. If all pans out well beforehand, I know it's the fight game. I know it's risky. People pull out, shit could fall out. I say you bring it back to the old school Pride days, the Strikeforce days. Do the Grand Prix championships, the tournaments. Imagine UFC 200, the light heavyweight tournament, to start or to end. Because that's the strongest division to have a tournament in. You have heavyweight, you have Fabricio. He handled Stipe. He already got the interim title from Hunt. He already beat Travis Brown. He already has a lot of good wins on his record. He could clean the division out in a tournament. John Jones, who's left? Anthony Rumble. He wants a rematch with Gus. Or if we're doing my way with the Grand Prix tournament, Anthony Rumble. Fuck it. Get the belt from DC. Anthony Rumble. Then Alexander Gustafsson. Cleaned out the division. Done. Middleweight. Chris Weidman, if he wins, he has the belt. You already beat Vitor. Just face Jacare and Yoel. Not even Tim Kennedy. I wouldn't even put Tim Kennedy as that elite, because Tim Kennedy fought Luke Rockhold, lost to Luke Rockhold, said Luke Rockhold was the toughest fight of his career. But when Yoel Romero, let's let's put that in perspective. When Tim Kennedy fought Yoel Romero, he dropped Yoel. Yoel got saved by the bell. It is what it is. He got extra time on the bench. But I don't even think that the whole water thing was to make Yoel slippery and that's all like a slick move and shit like that. I just think Yoel got his fucking bell rang and his corner dumped whatever ice and water they had to shock him as much as they can. Like, bro, it's about to be over for you. And let's be honest, Yoel Romero came back swinging. Tim Kennedy got rocked right back. And then Tim Kennedy starts fucking running Alexander Gustafsson style, but at least Gus kind of runs in an almost technical way. You know, because his whole I guess the time he spent at Alliance, he wants to replicate Dom Cruz. So he tries to do that kind of Dominic Cruz dance, but it's not. He kind of does it more in a running way. And like, I'm back running away. Tim Kennedy starts running away, not even in a Gus fashion, but in like a, I'm fucking rocked, I need to get away. Him running away causes him to get rocked again and dropped and have the shots rain down on him. You see, you could argue Yoel got saved by the bell, 100%. But if Tim Kennedy didn't run, you could argue he wouldn't have got dropped. If Tim Kennedy shot in for a takedown, if Tim Kennedy did anything else but run away, it could have went differently. And the reason is, when Tim lost that, and then in the back, you're welcome, hey, Tim. And then Tim's like, what the fuck? What the fuck do you want? And security stepped in. Tim was sour about it. He hasn't fought since, to my knowledge. And when the whole Yoel Romero tainted supplement thing happened, he started going in on Yoel Romero. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're not even in the Grand Prix tournament, dog. Welterweight, GSP could come back. Lawler could do some fights. Anyway, that's just me. I'm just kind of rambling at this point about some shit that's definitely not going to happen. But that's what I would do. I think that'd be smart. I'm not saying that it'd be the easiest thing to get done, but I would definitely try to pull something phenomenal off like that. Honestly, if I was a fighter, if I was like a John Jones, I would do a dream team. Well, he's pretty straight at Jackson Wink, but I would bring someone who is the best in every field, work with them all day long, get a team of doctors, work the best way and the healthiest way to do cuts, weight cuts, get down as low as I possibly can, and just do super fights in every division and unify the belts in as many divisions as humanly possible. I mean, I kind of just figured I'm talking about Grand fucking Prix tournaments and all this crazy shit that's not gonna happen. I'm talking about some like crazy shit I want to see. But I mean, like, you never know. Like, the sport's come far. You've seen some phenomenal shit. And it's kind of been done, tournaments and shit like that. they won't surprise. But I'm not saying, oh, it's 200 or bust. If it doesn't come during UFC 200, I never want to see it. I'm not saying that. But if they develop into that, and if like the fighters can get in a healthy way to be conditioned to be able to do that, I'd love to see that. But the cards, the co-main, and the headliners leading up to 200 are cool. They're good. They're actually really good. I'm looking forward to each and every one of them. So let's see, man. Like 200 isn't anything that great. I feel like it's still gonna do good, but unless they add some needle movers in Dana White terms, I don't really see that happening. I think this is it for Conor McGregor. I think if he doesn't win this, I think it's done for him. His entire plan was to get the belt, hold the belt hostage in every division that he can, and then just get out with like the highest accolades, being retiring at the age of like 20 something with belts in 3 divisions, undefeated in the UFC. I think that was his goal. Nate Diaz ruined that, and I think he's trying to run it back to kind of get hopefully back on that track. In his opinion, he wants to beat Nate Diaz, say it was the fluke because of the 10 days notice, and then that kind of reopens everything. He's the champ. He'll go down, defend the crown if he can. I mean, this is all in what I would imagine he would want. Go down, defend the crown, talk his way to the lightweight belt, even maybe fight a contender fight. Considering that Conor likes to fight without his belt on the line. That's just saying that Jose and Frankie should have got that fight. Considering what Frankie did to Chad Mendes and considering what Chad Mendes did to Conor, bro, that's Frankie Edgar's fight. Give Jose some time off. Jose got knocked the fuck out. Let him chill for a year. But for you to make them fight to get a fight and putting a namesake belt, unless Conor vacates 45 and they're like, hey guys, you're the real champion now. Unless Conor plans to vacate that belt, I don't see the point of the contender fight with the interim belt name. Anyway, man. Fuck. So UFC 200, I'm gonna be tuning in, but I'm not pumped. I was pumped for Jones to get his belt back. We don't know when that's gonna happen. I'm pumped for Cruz Faber. Hope no one pulls out. Pumped for Rockhold Weidman. Hope no one pulls out. Stipe Verdum's gonna be cool, but the heavyweight, you know what? My next video I'm gonna do is gonna be on the heavyweight division. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. You already know it's Mastermind MMA.